Can you believe that the very things that were the height of fashion in every American home in the 70s would make younger generations today scratch their heads in wonder? Well, today, we're opening up a time capsule and exploring the first 10 of those familiar items that once defined our lives. Ready for a surprising trip down memory lane? Let's start with something you couldn't miss seeing and feeling the moment you walked into a 1970s home. Shag carpeting. Oh, shag carpeting. It was the undisputed king of floor coverings in 1970s homes. Instantly recognizable by its thick, fluffy texture and those bold, earthy colors. Think avocado green, mustard yellow, and burnt orange. Remember walking barefoot on that plush carpet. It truly felt like stepping on a cloud, and for many of us, it was a luxury that defined the decade. Whether it was in the living room, the bedroom, or yes, even the bathroom, shag carpet was everywhere. It wasn't just a flooring choice, it was a lifestyle statement that screamed comfort and style. For anyone who grew up or raised a family in the 70s, the sight of shag carpeting brings back memories of cozy movie nights, sitting on the floor with friends, or playing board games with the kids. Sure, it was a nightmare to clean with its long fibers, trapping dust and dirt. But that didn't stop people from loving it. The bold colors matched perfectly with the wood paneling and funky furniture, creating a warm and inviting home environment. Today, it's rare to find shag carpeting in homes, but those who lived through the 70s will remember how it shaped the cozy, laid-back vibe of the decade. Beanbag chairs. Next up, the epitome of casual seating, the beloved beanbag chair. These simple, oversized sacks filled with foam beads were found in almost every living room, dorm, and even bedrooms, offering a relaxed alternative to traditional furniture. They came in bright, bold colors like orange, yellow, and lime green, perfectly complementing the psychedelic decor trends of the time. For many, sinking into a beanbag chair after school or work was the ultimate way to unwind. These chairs were especially popular with teens and kids who loved how they could mold to any shape, making them ideal for lounging, watching TV, or listening to records. Parents may remember the countless times they had to refluff the chairs after they flattened out, but that was part of their charm. Durable, fun, and surprisingly comfortable, beanbag chairs quickly became a beloved staple of 70s homes. While they're much less common today, seeing one can instantly transport you back to a time when comfort was king and a casual, carefree vibe ruled the home. It's hard not to feel a pang of nostalgia for those squishy, colorful chairs that were perfect for kicking back with friends or family. Wood paneling. Moving on to the walls, wood paneling was a defining feature of 1970s interior design, transforming the walls of countless homes with its dark, rich tones. Whether it was genuine wood or faux wood veneer, these panels gave rooms a cozy, cabin-like feel. From the living room to the den, wood paneling was everywhere, often paired with shag carpeting and bold, earthy decor. It brought warmth to the home, creating a sense of comfort and intimacy, especially during family gatherings. For those who lived through the 70s, wood paneling brings back memories of sitting in the living room, watching TV, with the walls surrounding you in shades of walnut or oak. While modern tastes may have shifted away from this style, back then it was seen as both practical and stylish. It was easy to install and covered up imperfections in walls, which was a big selling point for homeowners. And who could forget how it matched perfectly with the earthy tones of the decade's furniture? Today, wood paneling has largely disappeared from homes, but for many, just the sight of it evokes fond memories of a simpler time when homes felt like a cozy retreat from the outside world. Rotary phones. Now, let's talk communication. In the 1970s, the rotary phone was the cornerstone of every household's communication. With its distinct circular dial and sturdy receiver, It wasn't just a tool for making calls. It was an integral part of family life. The unmistakable clicking sound as the dial rotated back into place is something anyone from the era remembers vividly. Placed on kitchen counters or hall tables, rotary phones were often the center of activity, where teens spent hours chatting with friends or parents coordinated family plans. Before the convenience of speed dial and cell phones, making a call on a rotary phone required patience, especially if the number had lots of nines or zeros. And when the phone rang, there was a sense of excitement. It could be anyone on the other end, since there was no caller ID back then. People would gather around to listen in, or eagerly wait their turn to use it. Rotary phones were built to last, and many homes had the same one for years. While they may have been phased out with the rise of push-button models and digital technology, the memory of dialing a number on one of these relics remains a nostalgic reminder of a time when life moved just a little bit slower. Sunburst clocks. Speaking of time, let's recall those iconic sunburst clocks. Sunburst clocks became iconic in the 1970s, though their origins traced back to the mid-century modern movement of the 50s. By the time the 70s rolled around, nearly every department store carried them, making them a popular household purchase. Whether you shopped at Sears or J.C. Penney, you'd find these clocks gleaming on display, ready to add a stylish touch to your home. Their bold design, with a small, simple clock face surrounded by striking, radiating spokes, fit perfectly into the decade's love for flashy, eye-catching decor. You probably remember seeing them everywhere, right? Kitchens, living rooms, even above the mantel in some homes. Part of their popularity was how easily they matched the wood paneling and earthy tones of the era, creating that perfect mix of retro cool and modern flair. They weren't just stylish, though. These clocks were built to last. They often came in brass or chrome finishes, adding a bit of glitz to the otherwise rustic 70s aesthetic. Lava lamps. If you wanted to set a mood, you probably had one of these. Lava lamps. Lava lamps were one of the most unforgettable decor items of the 1970s, but they actually first appeared in the 60s, capturing the spirit of the psychedelic movement. By the 70s, they were in almost every teenager's room, adding a groovy, hypnotic vibe with their flowing, colorful blobs of wax suspended in liquid. Whether you picked one up at a local novelty shop or from a big retailer like Woolworths, lava lamps became an affordable way to add personality to any space. You probably remember turning one on and watching it mesmerize everyone in the room, right? They weren't just a lamp, they were an experience. The slow, undulating movement of the wax was almost meditative, perfect for creating a relaxed atmosphere during parties or just hanging out with friends. Part of their appeal was that they were an easy way to get that cool, laid-back vibe that defined the 70s. Lava lamps also came in every color combination imaginable, from classic red and yellow to more experimental blue and green. You might even recall how they were sometimes paired with blacklight posters or other psychedelic decor, making them an essential part of the 70s bedroom aesthetic. Macrame plant hangers. Bringing nature indoors was big in the 70s, and that brings us to macrame plant hangers. Macrame plant hangers were everywhere in the 1970s, adding a bohemian touch to homes across America. This craft, with roots in ancient times, saw a massive revival during the 70s as people embraced handmade natural decor. You could easily pick up a macrame hanger at craft fairs, local markets, or even make one yourself with a kit from a store like Woolworths or Kmart. The appeal? It was both decorative and practical, allowing plants to be hung from ceilings and brightening up any corner. Do you remember how every home seemed to have a spider plant or fern hanging in one of these? They were perfect for adding that earthy touch to a room, complementing the era's love for natural materials like wood and wicker. You'd often see them in the living room or near a window, soaking up the sun while swinging gently in the breeze. And if you made one yourself, there was always a sense of pride in showing off your handiwork. The intricate knots and patterns of macrame hangers made each one unique, and they were often dyed in earthy tones like brown, beige, or even a bold orange or avocado green. Avocado green appliances. Speaking of avocado green, let's talk kitchen fashion. Avocado green appliances were the height of kitchen fashion in the 1970s. From refrigerators to stoves and even dishwashers, this bold shade dominated kitchens across America. Manufacturers like General Electric and Whirlpool jumped on the trend, offering their products in this distinct green hue. It wasn't just a color, it was a statement that reflected the era's love for earth tones and natural palettes. If you had an avocado green fridge, you were keeping up with the times. It wasn't unusual to walk into a friend's home and see an entire kitchen outfitted in this color, from appliances to countertops. These green tones were often paired with wood cabinets and vinyl flooring, giving the kitchen a cozy, lived-in feel. Plus, the durable metal exteriors of these appliances ensured they stuck around for decades. What's funny is that avocado green was considered cutting-edge and chic at the time, despite today's opinions. It was a daring choice, and many of those who opted for it loved how it brought warmth and character to their homes. TV trays. When it was time for dinner and your favorite show was on, what did you reach for? TV trays. TV trays were a quintessential part of life in the 1970s, especially during family TV nights. These small foldable trays were designed for easy, portable dining, letting you enjoy dinner right in front of the television. Often made from metal or wood with colorful patterns, you could find TV trays at most department stores like Sears or J.C. Penney. They became the go-to solution for eating while watching your favorite shows without needing to gather around the dining table. Do you remember setting up your tray before tuning in to the latest episode of Happy Days or The Brady Bunch? The convenience of these trays made them a staple in homes, especially with the growing popularity of television as a family activity. They usually came in sets, stored neatly away when not in use, only to be pulled out for those relaxed evenings when formal dining wasn't necessary. With bright designs, sometimes featuring floral prints or even TV show characters, TV trays reflected the casual, fun vibe of the decade. They were practical, but also a little stylish, adding a splash of color to your living room during those cozy, informal meals in front of the tube. Vinyl record players. For music lovers, there was one true king, the vinyl record player. In the 1970s, vinyl record players were at the heart of every music lover's home. Long before streaming or digital downloads, spinning a record was the ultimate way to experience music. Whether you were into rock, disco, or soul, the act of placing the needle on the record and hearing that first crackle was pure magic. Brands like RCA and Sony made high-quality turntables that people proudly displayed in their living rooms, often alongside shelves full of vinyl records. For many, record players weren't just for music. They were a centerpiece for social gatherings. Friends would come over, flip through your collection, and you play albums from legends like Fleetwood Mac or the Eagles. You likely remember the thrill of unwrapping a new album, carefully sliding it out of its sleeve, and listening to it for the first time. That tactile experience, along with the rich sound quality, is something today's digital music just can't replicate. Record players came in all shapes and sizes, from large wooden consoles to more compact portable models. Many homes had these units built into stereo systems, complete with radios and tape decks, making them a multifunctional entertainment hub for the entire family. And that's just the first 10 items on our trip back in time. Did any of these bring back special memories for you? We'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. And don't forget, This is only part 1. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2, where we'll explore 10 more items that were once a staple in every 70s home.